Hey, it's Howie. Welcome back to my channel. What I'm going to do today is, or tonight really, because it's after 10 p.m., I'm going to make some makeshift miso soup. There's not really a recipe. I'm just going to throw some stuff together. I didn't eat real healthy today and I'm kind of hungry. I'm going to stay up tonight till 4 in the morning and watch the eclipse. So I had about 3/4 to a cup of leftover jasmine rice that I'm using, and I put about half a cup of water in it so far. I did put like half a tablespoon of this CBL soybean paste. I got this at the Asian market. It's just fermented paste. It's really pungent, but it's going to give it some spice and some salt. And I put about 2 tablespoons of some white miso paste. And it looks a little dark, but it's definitely not the red miso. This is the white miso. I'm also going to put some sliced mushrooms. And I'm going to put some alfalfa, broccoli, and kale sprouts. I'm going to chop up some garlic and put some fresh garlic in it. And I may slice some carrots. I don't know if I have that energy tonight. But I'm also going to put a little roasted seaweed as a topping. And to thicken it, I'm going to actually use a cornstarch slurry. So this is the cornstarch I'm going to use, and probably just 1 or 2 tablespoons in some water, and then I'll mix it in with the hot soup when it's ready. I'm going to go ahead and chop up, while this is heating up a little bit, I'm going to chop up some vegetables. And then I will be back to show you as I put them in. Now you can also put some soup base in, but I'm going to shy away from that because this stuff here is really salty. So I've got enough salt. I do have some garlic soup base, but I'm just going to put fresh garlic in it. And that should be enough to keep me over for tomorrow. Stay with me and I'll show you how I put it all together. I've already chopped the garlic. That's about 3 cloves. Before I slice my mushrooms, I have washed them. I wanted to show you how big they are. These are pretty big mushrooms, and they need to be used before they go bad. My hands, my ring finger is about a size 13. So if you're wondering how big they are, that's about how big they are. Okay, so my eyes are obviously bigger than my stomach. Added some more water to it. It's heating up pretty good. I could stir it just a little bit to break up this miso. The soybean paste is already, hey Mimi, soybean paste is already breaking up some. So I went ahead and sliced the mushrooms. I can add those now. You don't have to add those till near the end if you didn't want to, because they don't take a long time to cook. This is actually 3 cloves of garlic that I've chopped up. That's the fresh garlic that I've used there. So we'll just put that in there. And I've got the temperature on a medium-low. I wanted it to cook slowly as I get my ingredients together, because I'm just not with it tonight. And I did decide to put carrots, so I've got a grater that's got this little drawer there. So I'm going to slice some carrots, and I also got a broccoli stem that I've cleaned up a little bit. So I'm going to slice the broccoli stem. You don't have to watch this part if you don't want to. I forgot to eat my broccoli today, so I do need to put that in there. That's my dog drinking. If you hear that, that's not me. All right, I think that's good enough. And just about this much carrot I've peeled and washed and just to give it some color. And I did forget to chop up some onions, but I got some minced onions in my spice rack that I can use if you want some onion flavoring, which I would say why not. All right. Just going to scrape that off of there. And let's see if it came out right. There we go. We'll throw that in there. We'll use I'm gonna use my hand. It's your food, do what you want with it. I'm not serving anybody but me and the dogs, so. Get as much out as I can. You won't even taste that broccoli in there. That's what's good about it. And the stem is somewhat sweeter than the florets. It smells delicious with the miso and the garlic. And look, it's really thick already. I don't even think I'm gonna have to use the whole 2 tablespoons of cornstarch that I got out. These are my sprouts. I'm just going to take a bunch and just pull them in. You can put them in whole, or you can take your kitchen shears and chop them up a little bit if you don't want them as long as they are. And I think I'm going to add a little bit more water. I'm definitely going to have leftovers. This is the long grain jasmine rice that I cooked. And I had it left over from yesterday. It's a good way to use some leftovers. All right, I'm going to add a little bit more water and let that heat up. And then I'll come back and show you as I put in the cornstarch. All right, this is getting a nice little simmer look to it. So I'm going to go ahead and add some slurry. I divided my cornstarch up in 2 so I don't make it too thick, because then I would just have to add some water. So I like to add the water to the powder. The reason you make a slurry is so you just don't dump the cornstarch in and you don't get any clumps or lumps. So just add a little water to it and mix it together. Make sure it's all emulsified. See how that works. And you can add a little more water if you want. I did turn up the heat a little bit, so it's on the medium high right now. I'm on a really small burner though, so we'll see how long it takes to heat that up. And you can make this as thick or as thin as you want. I like mine a little bit on the thick gravy side. Some people like to leave it like a silky, just a silkiness to it. And I can tell that's not going to thicken up a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and use the rest of it. I did add more water. I don't have any measurements. I'll just tell you, use what you want to use. I use seasons to taste. And I do everything just in increments and add. You can always add a little more, you just can't take it away. There, it's starting to get a little thicker there. Let's pour that in there, see what that does. Oh yeah, that's getting thick. Let me get some onions. These are just some cheap Kroger onions. Just put a little in my hand and little bit more. Throw that in. Well, you can see that got thick really quick, so I may have put a little too much in it. Oh yeah, that's looking good. I got a lot of soup. I'm going to go ahead and give it a taste. Some ground pepper. And I think it needs just a little more spice to it. So this is some leftover kimchi juice. I was told never throw this away. It's bad luck. And I'm going to turn the heat down because that's like starting to boil now. So I'm going to put some of this in there. Say about a ladle full. I know I'm just mixing all these flavors together, but it needed something a little more. I can smell the kimchi juice in there. That smells awesome. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my heat. And it's ready to go. Well, I just put my other ladle in the sink, so let me use this one. Get some more mushrooms in there. And these are my little roasted seaweed. There you go. Nice and hearty, and I'm going to have leftovers. Just enough spice. And that's still cooking, even though I turned it off. I'm going to leave it on the heat. I'm going to let it cool off on its own. I may cover it. And to store it, I'm going to show you the storage container I'm going to use. All right, so I've got different ones. This one is made by Pyrex, and this is called Snapware. What I like is storing things in glass. And it does have a plastic lid, but I don't reheat it with plastic lid. You can reheat it in the microwave, or you can put it back on the stove and reheat it that way. These are available pretty much any US store that you might go to, like Walmart or Target. What I like also is I get these at the Asian store. These are called Glass Lock. And these are made in Korea, I believe, but somebody correct me if I'm wrong. And these are the same. I like to store it in glass. They do have a plastic lid. I may put them in the container warm, but I do not put them in the fridge until it's cooled off all the way. They have different sizes. And I'm not sponsored, by the way. These are what I like to use. I'd rather store them in glass than plastic. If you like, you could also put these in canning jars and can this. And you would want to follow the directions for either water bath or pressure canning. I hope you enjoyed what I did. I initially called it a makeshift miso soup. Well, it is a makeshift mushroom, miso, rice, seaweed, garlic, kimchi, bean sprout, broccoli, carrot, minced onion soup. Say that in one breath. See if you like it or come up with your own stuff. Just be creative. Until next time, have a good night.